Welcome to Science 9 class, where science becomes easy, exciting, and interesting. So sit back, relax, and be ready with your modules, paper, and pen. Hello learners! Are you ready for today's lesson? Wow, it's good to hear that! In today's video, we are going to talk about ionic bonding. Let's recall first how to write electron dot structure. But before that, take a look on your periodic table. Take note that the group number 1A, 2A, 3A up to 8A represents the valence electron of an element. So, if sodium is in group 1A, therefore, the valence electron of sodium is 1. So, let's start writing the electron dot structure of some elements. For sodium, since the valence electron of sodium is 1, so put 1 dot. For magnesium, magnesium is in group 2A. So you will put 2 dots. For aluminum, it is in group 3A. So you have 1, 2, and 3. And for silicon, it has 4 valence electrons. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for neon, it has 8 valence electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Remember that the electron dot structure represents the valence electron of the elements. At the end of this video lesson, you are expected to explain how ions are formed. Specifically, you will identify the valence electron of metals and nonmetals. You will compare the electronegativity and ionization energies of metals and nonmetals, and show the transfer of valence electrons using the Lewis dot symbol. Can you tell what is common in the pictures? Very good! The picture shows opposite sex, the male and the female. Opposite charge, the positive and the negative charge. Opposite poles for the magnet, the south and the north pole. What does it tell us? Excellent! Opposite sex, opposite charges, opposite poles, attracts or combine. And that is what we are going to talk about today. Let's define first some words to remember as we go on with our lesson. Bond. It is a strong force between atoms that hold them together in molecules. Cation is a positively charged ion. Anion is a negatively charged ion. Electronegativity is a property of an atom that attracts the electron. And valence electron is the outermost electron. From 1A, 2A, some of the 3A are all metals except hydrogen. This zigzag line are metalloids. From 4A, the carbon, up to 8A, including the hydrogen, these are all non-metals. Group 8A, except helium, are called noble gases. Noble gases do not combine with other elements because they are already stable. Remember that man's goal is to become stable. That is why they tend to combine with other elements, and they need 8 valence electrons to attain stability. Let's have an activity. Can you guess the valence electron of each element? Let's begin. Neon. 8. Very good. What about the valence electron of oxygen? 6. The xenon. 8. Rubidium. 1. Sulfur. It has 6 valence electron. Aluminum. 3. Magnesium. 2. Sodium. 1. Wow, you answered all correctly. Let's look at the electronegativity values of metals and non-metals. What do you observe on the pattern of electronegativity values? Exactly. Non-metals have higher electronegativity values compared to metals. So, it is increasing from left to right. What about the ionization energy? What do you observe on the ionization energy of metals and non-metals? Great! It is also increasing from left to right, meaning non-metals have a higher electronegativity value than metals. How ions are formed? Watch this demonstration video to know how ionic bonds are formed. Here are the steps for bonding of electron by transferring. First step is select a metal and non-metal element. So for example, I choose sodium from metal and then chlorine from non-metal. So that is the first step. So sodium and chlorine. Second step, take note of electronegativity value of both elements. So, the electronegativity value of sodium, you can look that on your periodic table. So, the electronegativity value of sodium is 0.9. 0.9. For chlorine, it's 3.0. Okay, and then subtract the electronegativity value of metallic element from non-metallic element. So subtract 3.0 minus 0.9. So that is equivalent to 2.1. Since it is higher than 1.7, so meaning they will form an ionic bond. Then, write the Lewis symbol of each element. So for sodium, it has a valence electron of 1. And then, the chlorine has a valence electron of 7 kasi nasa group 7A ang chlorine. So, ang valence electron ng chlorine is also 7. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then, with the use of arrow, show the complete transfer of electrons. So, the electrons of sodium will transfer to chlorine. Then, can show that you can see that they have now the 8 valence electron. A step indicate the formation of cation and anion. So, sodium becomes positively charged because it gives electron or transfer electron to chlorine. And chlorine becomes negatively charged because it receives or accepts electrons from sodium. So, that is now the ionic bonding between sodium and chlorine. It's so easy, right? I know you can do it on your own. Try to do the bonding between sodium and bromine, potassium and fluorine, calcium and oxygen. Take note of the electronegativity value of the given bond. Then, subtract the electronegativity value of both elements. If the difference is greater than 1.7, so there will be a complete transfer of electron. Then, with the use of an arrow, show the complete transfer of electrons and indicate the formation of cation and an ion. Let's check your answer. For sodium and bromine, the electronegativity value of sodium is 0.9, bromine is 2.8, so subtract 2.8 and 0.9, the answer is 1.9. It is greater than 1.7, so it is ionic. Then using the electron dot structure, you can see that sodium forms positively charged ion because it gives or transfer 1 electron to bromine. Bromine accepts 1 electron, so it becomes negatively charged. Same procedure with potassium and fluorine. So, potassium becomes positively charged and fluorine becomes negatively charged. And also for calcium and oxygen. So, their electronegativity difference is 2.5. So, it is ionic. Calcium becomes positively charged and oxygen becomes negatively charged. As chlorine tells sodium, you complete me. Why? Because sodium transfers 1 electron to chlorine. So both of them attain stability. Ionic bonding is about giving and accepting. we should learn to give what we have and accept our weaknesses. Try to answer the following questions. What kind of element forms cation after ionic bonding? The answer is metals form cations because they completely transfer or give away electrons. What kind of element forms an ion after ionic bonding? Non-metals form an ions because they attract electrons toward themselves. Number 3. Why do ions formed after ionic bonding? Ions form after ionic bonding because this type of bond involves complete transfer of electrons. Did the atoms attain stability after ionic bonding? Yes! After ionic bonding, the participating atoms attain the stable electronic configuration of the nearest noble gas. How can you tell that ionic bonding will take place between metals and non-metals? Ionic bonding will take place between metal and non-metal with an electronegativity difference of greater than 1.7. Combinations of metals and non-metals form ionic bond? Why or why not? No. If electronegativity difference is below 1.7, it will not form ionic bonding. Two atoms talking together. I am about to lose an electron. Are you sure? I'm positive. Always remember that atom that loses electrons becomes positively charged. Ionic bond involves complete transfer of electrons. Thus, ions are formed. It involves metals with low electronegativity and non-metals with high electronegativity. The lesson that we can get from ionic bonding is that give for love but never give up on love. Just keep on loving and spreading love. Did you understand our lesson today? Let's have a short evaluation. Supply the missing word to complete the following sentences. And the answer is, ionic bonding is the complete transfer of electron between atoms. And the answer is, metals tend to increase their stability by losing electrons to become cations because they have fewer valence electrons. Their electronegativities are generally low. Non-metals have relatively large ionization energy and therefore tend to gain electrons. A Lewis dot symbol is a representation of the valence electrons of an atom that uses dots around the symbol of the element. The dot represents the valence electrons of an atom. Atoms that gained one or more valence electrons are called cation, while atoms that lose one or more valence electrons are called anion. Did you get all the correct answers? Good job, learners! For your additional activity, you may choose one activity to be accomplished from the given activities. You can make a short comic strip or a one-frame cartoon that demonstrate your understanding of ionic bond. Rubrics are given for your guidance. Or you can create a short science hugot line that demonstrated your understanding about ionic bonding. Relate it to a particular theme which can be about life, family, friendship, or love. Again, you are guided with the rubrics. Or you can write a short story about ions and ionic bonding. If you want to study more about ionic compounds, these are the references, and you may also visit the given links. Thank you for your time, learners. See you on our next lesson. Stay safe and be healthy. Bye!
Thank you for your time, learners. See you on our next lesson. Stay safe and be healthy. Bye!